Upstairs.
Jake.
Underneath in London, being goodbye they
No, they never said in Mammon we trust, but they should have done, and they should still do it.
Like the Irish, all the Irish who went to America to have their own money, to be not actually slaves or servants or
But this
yeoman or whatever.
This is exactly what happened in the Second World War, whereby at the beginning we said, we'll must all get gas masks and have air raid warnings and go underground when there's an air raid, because those buggers are going to bomb us to buggery or whatever.
Yeah.
And we ended up by bombing them more cruelly and more sort of brutally than they had ever bombed us.
Yeah, but don't you think that revenge can be crueler than whatever's happened to you? The revenge
Well, I think it was.
like the war in Iraq might happen because it's a revengeful thing.
Yeah,
Everybody said, okay.
you know, the freedom they talk about, it began by being the freedom from their oppressors, and it ended up by being the freedom to do what they bloody well liked to anybody else. And that's what going on now.
That's what power is about.
An ex-Carmelite nun sent me a postcard saying that the Americans, since the end of the Second World War, had bombed 28 countries, and at the end they said none of these operations resulted in a democratic government. None.
Well, when they have a puppet government like the Taliban against the Russians or the Iraqis against Iran, it always comes to haunt them. And they're the people who say, oh, we must get rid of these people, they're cruel. But why didn't they realise they were cruel when he started gassing the Kurds back in the past?
Well, when they were actually supporting them.
Yes.
And they've supported untold, oppressive, dictatorial, fascist, ghastly, anti-freedom, anti-democracy.
Yes, but it's when you live in America, and I do love Americans, most of them, and when I live there, I sort of feel that the population doesn't really know what's happening. Even when the Vietnam War was on, you felt that it was something so far away that they had no conception. And Auckland was an R&R port for the Vietnamese boys that came in, the American boys coming in. You know, I've just felt terribly sorry for them. Some of them were, you know, they're only 18, they were just children really, and they didn't know what they'd gone into, and they were so shocked and what they had to do, and those sort of wars are absolutely dreadful, really.
I mean, the whole thing drives me towards being an atheistic, or at least agnostic, anarchist, and saying that I like the Americans very much, and I like the English very much. All governments are alien because all governments are not ordinary people.
No, they're people who want to be above.
And they can't talk to each other as you and I are talking to each other.
No.
They can only negotiate, threaten, etc.
It's all power play
and the people who die are not members of governments. They're not dictators. They're not presidents or senators much, really. They're just ordinary
young soldiers or women and children being bombed to oblivion, really.
Voters. In democracy they're voters, and in non-democracy they can't even vote.
But
they die.
Yeah, masses.
Be a good Okay, we're moving.
It's all about how stupid you can be.